Hey! So, this is Steve. Pretty sure you're familiar with, but this is pre-show thoughts. The show is about to be in 20-some minutes. I haven't seen any trailers for, what are we seeing?
Peanuts.
That's right. The Peanuts, just in case you have to enunciate. Otherwise, it sounds like something completely different. I haven't seen any trailers for the Peanuts. The Peanuts aren't really my thing. Just to give you an idea of what I'm going to try to go in unbiased as possible. Not like this is going to be, any Oscar nominated movie or film. But this is a big Peanuts fan. So, what are you thinking?
It's gonna be definitely different animation style than the earlier stuff.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because if you haven't seen anything, it's definitely in CGI.
You need to get out of that hole you're living in.
Yeah, because the Peanuts movie is when you know you're cultured.
Yes.
How do you think? Do you have any ideas of what it might be like or what it might be about?
I think it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be like a different caliber of what the older stuff is.
Okay. What is something that you liked about the older stuff?
Just the straightforwardness, just how pretty much. I mean, it was pretty much each character had their own problems, and they all handled it. I mean, minus the super undertones that are throughout the whole.
Would you say the Peanuts is their plots or their climaxes are their problems essentially? Would you say they're more of a mundane? Not that they're boring, but more of really scaled back as far as what the issues they're going through.
Yeah.
Really toned down.
Where it's just everyday stuff that kids their age would be going through.
Okay. Well, that's more than I've known about the Peanuts, because I don't think I've seen any full episode of the Peanuts. So here we go. Okay, so we just finished watching the Peanuts. I feel like the only way I'd ever watch it again, not that it was a bad movie, but is if they cut out all the Charlie Brown stuff and put Snoopy's little side scenes into one big movie, and that's what I'd watch.
I think I could have done without Snoopy's stuff.
I feel like they were the best parts of the movie.
Maybe one or two snippets, but to have a whole side story.
Honestly, I feel like it made the movie a lot more bearable for me. Not that I thought it was terrible, and I guess bearable is a terrible word to use.
I think it was nice too how they kind of intertwined it too with how it was going across the he'd go across enemy lines, and it was oh look, he's playing around on Christmas lights and stuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Snoopy has PTSD from serving in World War One.
He's got the PTSD.
Yeah. Snoopy's tidbits, his little side scenes, they're not just irrelevant to the storyline. They actually kind of involve themselves into what is happening in Charlie Brown's life at the time. It's an alright movie. It's an alright movie.
There were a lot of references to the old ones.
The old movies.
A couple one-liners that could have... They're oh, we need to throw this in there.
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be funny, but...
The pumpkin.
And then a lot of, how they intertwined a lot of, comic style into the CGI.
Oh, yeah. I actually kind of like that.
There were some parts where it was, the CGI was just a little too much. But, I mean... Overall, he really kind of transferred well into CGI. But.
Yeah, I feel like the animation style Blue Sky, I believe, is the animators responsible for it. You may recognize them as the people responsible for Ice Age.
Oh, that was.
But you will
too.
not. But you will. They don't, and they won't let you forget it. They are responsible for Ice Age because not only is what is his name, like Scrap? I think his name's Scrap, the little squirrel from the Ice Age movies. There's a whole little like beginning intro scene of him,
which
like,
is truly how I believe the universe got created.
Oh yeah. That's what the whole episode's about. So like Pixar has their little shorts in front of their movies. Well, Blue Sky, I guess, they just have their little Scrap episodes, and this one just involved him going into space. Yeah, and that is genuinely what it's about. Him going into space and creating the universe and causing an asteroid to hit Earth and kill all the dinosaurs. The end. Charlie Brown. But overall, the animation style, they outdid themselves with it. It wasn't anything super fantastic, but it was very good for Charlie Brown. It fit the style of what they were trying to capture.
And I'm also glad, I know part of me hates it, but part of me is glad they didn't do it, but they didn't give a name to the red-haired girl.
Oh, that pisses me off. Thank you for bringing that up.
Part of me is glad they stuck to it and just kept it, but at the same time, I'm kind of hoping they give her something stupid, like, I don't want to say any names, but just like some stupid name.
We did get the couple special as tradition. Jumbo with me.
Jumbo!
But yeah, so the whole plot of Charlie Brown, spoilers, revolves around Charlie Brown being Charlie Brown. Shockers.
And he calls himself out on it too.
Yeah. So there's a new girl that moves into the neighborhood, and Charlie Brown has the hots for her. So the whole movie revolves around him trying to like get the attention of this girl while remaining himself, I guess. And it's all right, but they go through this entire they hide her face almost the entire time, but they
like
don't.
Sasquatch shit, like.
Yeah, they like, and you always see like the only way you recognize this character, if you saw her from the front, you'd be like, who the hell is that? Then you turn around and then you'd see her hair like right here, and you'd be like, oh wow, it's that red-haired girl from the Charlie Brown movie, because that is 90% of what you see. That really did kind of piss me off a little bit, because it's like, why are you hiding her face? It doesn't matter.
Well, in the comics, they don't even show her.
Really?
Like, she's just...
Oh, so she's in the comics.
She's in the comics, but only referred to.
So you never see her ever?
So you never see her.
You only see, like, the hair?
You don't even see the hair. It's just Charlie Brown sitting on a bench saying, there's the red-haired girl. There she goes. I love her. Blah, 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 blah.
Wow, okay. So I guess that adds a little... It's still, like, it's so stupid. They don't have to remain to the whole, like...
But, I mean, there were things thrown in from the comics, and there were things thrown in from, like, the actual, like...
The show and...
Like, Charlie... Or, like, Christmas and the Great Pumpkin and everything, but...
Overall...
And it wasn't over Christmassy, too, which I'm kind of happy about, too. There were, like, a couple...
Oh, I didn't even know it was supposed to be...
Well, because... The Christmas one's, like, super Christmassy, like, super...
Like, super religious.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm actually very glad they toned that completely back.
I mean, there were like one or two songs.
I don't even think there were any references to any kind
which
of religion.
I think it would have been cool if they referenced Linus's speech in the Christmas one about the manger. Like, that's a pivotal Charlie Brown speech.
I'm glad they stuck away from like being dominated by some religious texts, because now it opens itself up for more demographics. Franklin has a good part in the movie. I mean, he's liking a lot of it. All the voices were nice. I can't complain about any of them. I watched the show a lot, but I mean, they didn't seem weird to me. Some of the girls sounded the same, but then maybe that was just me. But that's about it. Snoopy's bits were hilarious, especially when he like goes into
World War
One, like Germany.
Flying ace.
Yeah. He's like behind enemy lines and everything.
Oh, when he flips like the complete, like he just hops up and just starts flying in a completely different direction.
Yeah, those are some of the best parts in the entire movie. But
part of me, like, it probably wouldn't have happened, and where he lands and he like teams up, because the Royal Guardsmen actually do a song where it's Snoopy and the Flying, or Red Baron, and I thought it would be funny if they landed and they had a cameo where they're singing that.
Oh,
but
I think the movie, it felt long a little bit near the end.
It did, like, because each kind of like scene change, I could have felt that could have been the end of the movie, but they're just
I feel like at any point in the movie would have been like, it's the end.
Like when he got crushed by the books, it's just, I wanted to reach over and be like, dun 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 dun.
Full of goosebumps and just be...
But I mean, yeah, it's just
and just so you know, we didn't wait to the end of the movie to see if the Goosebumps theme was there.
I wanted to. Instead of Vince Guaraldi, just dun 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 dun.
That was, yeah, and you know, it was good. I don't know if I'd see it again, but
I'm buying it on DVD.
Oh, I know you are, because you're a huge fan, but
but it's one of those where it's like you watch it once, you're like, okay, I watched it once for the year, like I don't need to watch it again,
or ever.
Well,
it's a good movie for kids. It's a good movie if you're a fan of Charlie Brown.
But
if you're not a fan, and if you're not a fan of, you don't. I feel like this could be a good entry point for a lot of those people who don't know a lot about Charlie Brown, such as myself. So you're like, everyone throws a fit about Charlie Brown. I'm gonna watch this movie, and then you could be like, oh well, I know about Charlie Brown now. At least that's how I feel about it. It's a good entry point for a lot of like younger people. And if you just kind of want to see a movie, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, and I mean, there were a lot of kids in there too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It wasn't terrible.
No, surprisingly not.
The best part of the movie was the trailers in the beginning.
And the credits.
No, but do you have any final thoughts?
No.
Nothing at all.
I mean, I don't know. I think the whole thing with Schroeder and Lucy is way overplayed. Like,
are you kidding? There was like 3 scenes with it. Like barely any at all.
But I mean, overall it was good. Glad I saw it, and I mean, still gotta love Pigpen.
Yeah. Pigpen and like all 3 of his lines that were in the movie.
He had some funny one-liners.
He did. But it don't fool yourself. It was all about Charlie Brown. They should have called it the Charlie Brown movie. Nah.
But there were a lot of like minor characters that had lines, like those 2 girls. I can't think of their names, but I mean, just like they gave, like, Franklin had a lot of lines.
Yes, he did.
And like minor characters had a lot more lines.
Sally had quite a bit too.
Yeah, but Sally's his sister.
That's true.
But I wish, who wasn't in it? Rerun. They didn't have Rerun. Linus and Lucy's younger brother. I think that would have been awesome. Like,
was he some like special character or something?
He always, in the comics, he's always playing basketball, but he's like this little, like, almost mini Linus, and his name is Rerun.
That's a terrible name.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're gonna end it there. Before we find out every little secret of Charlie Brown.
In 1984.
Oh my gosh.